Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and I'm back. Um, I know I missed the live stream last week, and I do apologize. We had some crazy weather. We are completely fine. I appreciate everybody that reached out and showed support. Um, there was actually an update where it was actually six confirmed touchdown tornadoes in the area. Um, where I was, uh, it wasn't terrible. There was much, much worse that happened. Um, but as far as everything, we've just been kind of going through and making sure community outreach and things like that. But just as it is, just want to say we're good now. Everything should be back on track. I've been just kind of chasing down the rabbit hole on a couple of different things that has caught my attention, but I'm working hard on getting back to a regularly scheduled programming. Um, One other really quick update. Bear with me. The seed exchange seems to be doing pretty decently. I will be checking the PO box later this week, so if you have sent something in the last few days, I will be getting it. To this date, we have helped out now 5 people that have asked. So I am very appreciative for all of you. We have come together as a community, and all of us under this channel, and was able to assist. And so, for me to you, I want to say thank you for that because you guys are as much a part of that as what it is. Even if you didn't send anything, even no money, no seeds or whatever, just by watching these videos, you are in that effort to support. And so, I really appreciate it. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into this, and then I'm going to say a few things at the end of this one. But real quick, here we go in no particular order on our news headlines the past few days. Um, Now, the thing is on this, the way I kind of did, I started to write down a few of the notes, and then all of a sudden I went down the rabbit hole on one. And so let's talk number one. Let's go overseas. So, just quick headline overview. Anybody catch Medvedev? Okay, he was quoted when he was giving a speech, and two of his quotes out of his speech. I know it's kind of not correct to take two sentences out of an entire speech, but these two sentences, really quick, just bear with me. He said that the U.S. is now at war with us. Okay, so right there, he's already pushing that war narrative. And then the next one, he was quoted saying that the main threat in the world now is the threat of nuclear conflict. Okay, so there again, we're pushing war, now we're pushing nuclear. Okay, you didn't catch that? Okay, there's a lot in his speech and things like that. That's kind of the two big things that he said. Okay, so how are people reacting? Well, didn't take very long, and Lukashenko today actually signed a decree on the procedure of transferring the Belarus government agencies to work in a wartime. Okay. Now that's why I talk and I was very interested in all this war rhetoric. What are people doing about it? Hmm. Well, looks like somebody's doing something about it. Now, if you want to kind of glance around, so there was a decently sized attack on the Crimean Bridge actually not too long ago from the recording of this. And it actually is interesting because if you didn't also hear, this comes on kind of the coattails of the alleged leak German military that we're talking about attacking Crimea and what it would take and things that they could do. Interesting timing on all that. So we'll see how all that goes. Now, there's a lot going on with NATO. Keep in mind that NATO is actually conducting 3 simultaneous exercises all the way up into the real Arctic areas and kind of all the way down. So they're doing that. And, the U.S. is really big into NATO, but we can't stop there. So we're also doing some things with South Korea as well as different other places. So, whether or not we want to be at war, we are doing a ton of warlike things all over the place. So just keeping my eye on it. Now, next one, I don't know if any of you heard of it. I didn't really check mainstream media, but there has been a state of emergency declared in Haiti. Okay, so if you haven't heard about this, you're going rural. What in the world is going on down there? Well, it looks like some gang leaders have orchestrated a little event and took two of the major prisons down there and basically let everybody loose. I mean, there's video and pictures of all these prisoners just running out of the prison down through the streets. And because of this, now there is even whispers of a possible coup attempt. And they're saying that the next 72 hours is going to be pretty critical of what happens down there. So I'll be keeping a close eye onto that one. Um, but hey, let's move on to the U.S. here. So I'm sure everybody is aware of what's going on down in Texas with the wildfires, which a few of you have sent me some articles and different things to look into, which I really appreciate. Side note, if there's stuff going on that you want me to have attention on, by all means, my email is always listed at the beginning of every video in the intro and down into the description section. If there's something that you think would require my attention, please, by all means, email me. Just please, I ask you to be respectful. Don't send me, uh, you know, 3 videos that are an hour long because it's difficult. Now, if it's majorly important, it may take me a couple weeks to get through it, but if it is, something very important to you and you want me to take a peek at it, by all means, let me know and I'll do my best to look. And I've looked at most of everybody's that sent stuff in. And so there has been the announcement of a new wildfire down in Texas. This is what is probably going to shape up to be Texas's biggest fire in state history. And I didn't get a chance to fully look into, but this is going to make, a pretty top list event as far as wildfires, as far as the whole entire United States. So, but with this one, I believe the last, I don't know, numbers, if you want to say, everybody's kind of all over the place on this one. So it looks like we're at somewhere about 1 million acres, and they're estimating somewhere about 100, or I'm not 100, 1 million acres, and then about 10,000 cattle are dead. Okay. Now, Pinball did an amazing video this morning talking all about the cattle and the beef and things like that. I'm not going to go into it because I can't top that. He did a very great video. Go look him up and watch that video if you missed that one. Next is going to be a possible Black Flag event. Now, I've been looking into this, and every time that I want to put an next to it and go, absolutely not, I hesitate because there's, I think, a hint of truth to this. I can't fully tell right now, but there's a lot of pictures and videos that's swarming all over different social medias, and it's showing people hanging up these signs that read "awaiting orders." Now, there's tons of rumors. Okay, now so far on social media, these have been in places like L.A., Chicago, all over Arizona and New York. Now, the rumors, okay, rumors is that this is migrants that are doing this because they want to do a replacement to where they are going to go after small gangs and different things like that into the lower incomes, the ghettos, things like that, and do a replacement because they're already established. People are already used to that's a bad area of town. And so, the rumor is that they're going to go in and, basically start a small little civil war or small little war or whatever and kind of take over that turf and then they can absorb and expand. Rumors, okay? Do I think that's what it is? I think there might be a hint of truth to that. Do I think it's 100%? No, I do not. I'm looking into this. I'm trying to get my entire opinion wrapped around this before I do anything, but I just want to put that out there in case you're not aware of it. Maybe now you are. You can look into it yourself, form your own opinion. If you know anything more than I do, go ahead and send it to me. The big thing I want to talk about, which I was hoping to make this video about 10 minutes, I'm already at 10 minutes, so bear with me just a few minutes. So I'm sure most of you have heard that there is a looming government shutdown on Friday. I have started hearing the whispers and the little talks that there seems to be an agreement reached, and you would think that by agreement is I want a bunch of money for this, I want a bunch of money for this, I'm going to cut this out, I'm going to cut this out, and there we go, we meet in the middle. Well, even with the deficit, and you would think cuts, the biggest thing is, well, we don't want to cut anything. How do we come up with more money? Well, they came up with that solution with four letters of NGSR. Now, if you're looking at me going, Earl, what in the world is NGSR? That stands for the Northeast Gasoline Supply Reserve. So, to educate you 2 seconds on the NGSR, this holds about 1 million barrels of refined gasoline of petroleum. So there's about 700,000 in the New York Harbor. There's about 200,000 in the Boston area, and about 100,000 in South Portland, Maine. Okay, that comes up to the million barrels. Now keep in mind that in 2022, okay, the administration in the White House sold 180 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to try and stop the spike in fuel prices. Now, it looks like what they're going to do if this government shutdown agreement passes. This has been slipped in there as a way to help pay for these things. And so, what they will do is they will take that 1 million barrels and they're going to sell it off. And then, on top of that, they even added in there that once it's all sold off, they're going to shut it all down permanently. They're not refilling it ever, it's done. Now, just in case you don't know, the reason why they did the NGSR was because they wanted to establish something because of Superstorm Sandy back in 2012. Okay. Now, for me, what I find very interesting in all this is that you had a major storm. Okay. Most of you remember, you're old enough to remember 2012 Superstorm Sandy. Prices went because of the way to get fuel and different things like that. And so they wanted to prepare for a bad storm. What would we do for fuel? So they built this and put 1 million barrels in, okay? Because 1 million barrels isn't nothing for the entire United States, but for the Northeast, 1 million barrels is a little bit of relief. That's what its intended purpose is. So with all this talk about the changing of weather, I've got to choose my words here so I don't get dinged. So with all this about the change of weather, uh, isn't it a little odd that you take the one thing that you put into place to help people and give relief in case there was a really bad storm, when we are told that because the weather is changing and that we're going to get wild weather and really bad storms and all this other stuff, why would you take the one thing that you put in place to help people and give relief? Is it just me that's thinking that, or maybe I'm just overthinking that? But okay, well, that's all I've got because I want to keep this one a little bit short, and so I want to thank you guys. If you made it to this far in the video, guess what? You rock. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now we are coming up on two big milestones. The first one has nothing to do with you and everything to do with me, and that is going to be our 500th video. It's coming up really soon, probably within the next few weeks, and I will be doing a giveaway for the 500th. I'll make announcements as we get a little bit closer. And then the next one is going to be the 2000th uh, subscriber for this channel. We're getting really close. I assume that we'll get it pretty decently. Right now, it seems like I'm getting held on to a little bit because it did this to me a couple weeks ago. I kind of had a number and I would get close and then I would get throttled back and I'd get close and throttled back. And it did that for a couple of days to, I don't know, a week and a half or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I just slingshotted over that and steadily build. So I assume that's what's going on right now. That I'm just being throttled for whatever reason. Maybe I'm wrong again, but who knows? But I do have some special giveaways. And for those people that have made it 15 plus minutes into this, let me give you a tiny little peek of what one of the giveaway items are. Now, I'm only going to show this for a few seconds to give you a peek so that way you can see, because I want people to get excited and try and help the channel get to that 2000th mark. So we're really close. I just need a little bit of your guys' help. If there's anybody that you think that could use any of this information, share this out, tell them to come check us out for a little bit. But one of the items, I'm just going to put this just like this so that way you guys maybe can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And there it goes. So there's your hint. We're going to have a couple of prizes for both the 500th video and for the uh, 2000 subscriber base. And then on top of that, I'm also going to be issuing a challenge to where if you participate in it, because it's going to be if you're only going to be able to participate in it, okay? Because I know not everybody's going to be able to. If you can participate in it, I'm going to give away prizes for it. It's going to be for a great cause. I think a lot of you is going to enjoy it and things like that. We'll make it fair to where, and I'll explain it. We'll just go with that. I'll explain it. Just keep in mind, we got some fun things going on. I'm talking to some people about some interviews. I'm doing a lot of different other things. We're kind of going off in some different other directions and things. The channel's doing really well, so I'm really, really happy with all of you guys. I just want to say thank you again. So, with that, God bless each and every one of you. I hope you guys have an amazing night. Stay tuned because there's definitely more information to come. And with that, please remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.